What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Finishing Work. I gotta melt off some stuff real quick, or burn off the ends on some stuff real quick, and then we'll get started. Take my glasses off. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's my first time going live on TikTok for this. I usually just go live on YouTube, but I go live every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. to finish up all the projects in my shop. This morning, we're going to be cording up a bunch of Japanese yawara, and we're going to handle wrap some daggers, put together a practice spear, handle wrap a prop sword. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Let's see. And excuse me as I lean in and out. I have horrible eyesight, so I have a tendency to have to lean in. My glasses don't really help me see up close, so I apologize if I have to do that to read stuff. What's everybody up to this morning? I always think it's weird how many people are awake this early on a Sunday. I know why I'm awake. Why the heck are you guys awake? You up too early or up too late? All right. The first thing we're doing is going to cord up these yawara. Got one is a couple of them here are made of canary wood. These are pocket yawara. These are 6 inches, so they're small enough to fit in a pocket or purse. These are mostly used in traditional Japanese karate. You also see them used in jiu-jitsu, and there are also some Filipino martial arts, I think, that use them. I think they're called a dula with them. And then I think Hapkido also uses them. They call it the dambong, I think. But it gives you an extension of your fist that you can use to defend yourself. Very simple design. If anyone's familiar with the Kubotan keychain that Takabota invented, it was based on the Japanese yawara. It's kind of an evolution of the traditional design. There we go. There we go. We got 2 canary wood pocket yawara. And I got some longer, more traditional sized 8-inch yawara made out of, these are white ash. You don't see white ash very often. I don't get it very often because I only get it from sellers who harvest it legally and ethically. So because white ash here in the U.S., there's a invasive insect called the emerald ash borer beetle that has eaten up a bunch of the ash forest here in the US. So luckily I had a vendor who they were able to harvest a tree that was downed in a storm last year, and I was able to buy some of their ash that they got from harvesting that tree. For the longer ones, I try to use, for the most part, I use cotton cord instead of paracord, because as the yawara gets longer, there's more kind of a shift that can happen, and with paracord, you can get a bit of a chafing with that. With cotton cord, you get a little less chafing issues, but and I leave these fairly long. When someone orders them, they can adjust this to their hand and then cut and burn off the tips as they see fit. All right, let's see. Where are my YouTube peoples at? I don't have any YouTube peoples. The TikTok's showing up. What's going on this morning? Good gracious. There we go. These I sand these up to about 800 grit. I I hand shape these. I hand sand these to about 800 grit, and they work pretty well. If you got any questions about what I'm working on or what I'm doing, feel free to drop them in the chat. Give me something to do other here than sit here and talk to the air, because it's the main reason I started going live during these. It's just this is kind of the boring part of what I do. So it kind of gave me somebody to talk to instead of just sitting here in silence this early in the morning trying to put all this crap together. There we go. All right. There's another one. And for everything you see here, link to my shop and all that stuff is in my bio. Warrior Wood and Props. We're on eBay. I do have a main website, warriorwoodandprops.com. It is not currently functional. I had an issue with Shopify about 4 or 5 months ago, and Shopify has apparently no customer service aside from bots that know absolutely nothing about how to help me. So that website does not work, but my eBay shop works just fine right now. I'm trying to figure out how to get a separate independent website set up because I am so tired of dealing with all this crap from Shopify. Shopify was great until I had a problem. Because once you have a problem, they do not help you. All right, there we go, folks. That's all of our yawara for this morning. These 4 white ash ones and the 2 canary pocket yawara. Let me put these over in the finished area. Then I got to wipe down some stuff that I put in the tung oil this morning. All right. Yeah, this is weird. Hang on one sec. I'm trying to figure out what's going on over here on YouTube, because normally I have more people, and right now it's showing I have no people, which I don't quite understand. Huh. Well, that's all right. Bringing people over here. What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, Jackafe? Welcome. All right. Good to see you over here. I think all my YouTube people came over here. Hey, what's up, Shozy? Hey, I know it is ungodly early, Shozy. It so is. It's extremely freaking early. Thank you for showing up, though. I appreciate it. We're doing things a little different this morning. I'm doing a live on YouTube and over here on TikTok. All right, let me go wipe this stuff down real quick. I got some stuff I had to tongue oil this morning. Just got to wipe it down, so make sure there are no bubbles or anything like that in the tongue oil. This thing right here, I've got a few of these in stock right now. These are awesome. These are cumaru wood straight edge boken. Cumaru wood has a Janka hardness of 3,200 to 3,700 pound force. This wood can take a beating. I call these my unbreakable boken. I'm probably only going to be able to make like a half dozen of these before I run out of cumaru wood. They're up on the shop right now. All the wasters and boken in my shop, by the way, are guaranteed to not break. My standard boken have a 1 year guarantee to not break under normal use, or I will replace them free of charge, no return necessary. These have a 5 year guarantee. They will not break in 5 years. They'll probably never break, to be honest with you. I don't know what you could possibly do aside from just like smack it as hard as you could, like it was a baseball bat against a telephone pole repeatedly until it finally broke. And then, kind of excited about this. I got the design for this year's limited edition vampire steak for the shop. Every year I make a limited edition steak. Last year I only made 2. This year I'll probably make 10 to 15 of them. Last year I only made 2 because we had some issues with the wood. I only had a limited stock of the wood that I had chosen for those, and I only could make 2. So this year I've got a lot more wood to use. This is Ipe, also known as ironwood. Really, really pretty strong stuff. It's got a conical tip, bellied handle, little pommel on the end. All right, now that's just wiped down. We got to start handle wrapping some stuff. Ooh. Shozy, what are you up to this morning? I'll grab some coffee. Oh. All right. So I've got the cumaru wood that boken's made out of. I also have these daggers, these wood daggers made out of cumaru. This is the first time I've made them out of these. They're a little thin. So after I make these, I'm going to impact test them, see if they hold up. If they hold up, I'll put them up for sale. If they don't hold up, then they won't. I may or may not just auction them off as a set on eBay if I don't like how they hold up to the impact test. Or if they break, I won't be selling them at all, obviously. You're making coffee? Yeah, I definitely would be making coffee too, Shozy, at this time. Shozy, I can't remember. Where are you at? Are you one of my East Coast people? I can't remember. Or you because if you're central or mountain or at western or Pacific time zone, it's really crazy early for you. Oh, that's awesome, Shozy. Custom furniture? That's cool. I've actually been doing furniture restoration a lot this week. At my day job, we've had a lot of clients over the last few years. We've had so many hurricanes here in Florida. A lot of people had damaged furniture, and especially people who we call them snowbirds, people who only come here during the winter. this is the first year a lot of them have come back because of there were no hurricanes this year, and so suddenly everybody wants their furniture fixed that was damaged in the flooding, and so it's been interesting. I got to go move a dresser tomorrow. Really looking forward to that. It's always fun. Midwest chapter, that's right. Restoration and additional flair, that's always fun. All right. Apparently TikTok's upset with me because I redirected people to purchase stuff off of TikTok. I didn't know that. Wasn't aware that was an issue for TikTok. Elvish inspired chair. That sounds awesome, dude. I would love to see that. That sounds cool as hell. Not sure what TikTok's deal is over here. Hey, TikTok people, help me out. Why is TikTok pissed at me because I'm talking about my shop? Is that what it is? Because I don't have a TikTok shop. I wasn't even aware I needed to have a TikTok shop. I don't think TikTok would even want me selling the stuff that I make on TikTok, but I don't know, maybe. So I can't talk about my shop unless I have a TikTok shop. Good to know. Guess I should set one up then. Didn't really plan on doing that, nor did I. Ah, crap! I think I left my scissors in the other room. Be right back. Where are my scissors? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, people. I can't find my scissors. Give me 1 second. I've displaced my scissors. Huh. Son of a bitch. I'll be right back. Luckily, I keep a spare set in the other room. Or... Oh. Yeah, Torque Tax seems to have many restrictions. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It does seem odd. Like, what? I wasn't aware that TikTok uh only wanted you to sell on TikTok. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Because if that is the case, this may be the last time I go live on TikTok because I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll look into it and figure out what I need to do to make that work. But this may be the first and last time I go live on TikTok since they don't seem to want me there. I don't know. There's a fee for the shop. Of course, there's a fee for the shop. That makes more sense. Of course, there is. Of course, there's a fee for the shop. Why am I? Why did I not think of that? That makes that tracks. That would explain why they want me doing that. course there's a fee for the shop. What was I thinking? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Uh, Probably don't quote you. That's all right, Chelsea. I'm not worried about it. There's a bunch of people popping in on TikTok, but no one's really saying anything or talking to me. So I don't know what's going on there. Trying to keep my eye on two chats is not exactly fun. Apparently, my TikTok is restricted. I love how they always act like you've done something illegal. Like, I didn't know TikTok. So much trouble. There we go. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Jagafe. Thanks for the likes. Come on, you. There we go. There we go. We got a set of cumaru wood daggers. I'm going to impact test these after my live to make sure that they will hold up to the stabby. And if they hold up to the stabby, they will go up on the shop. If they don't hold up to the stabby, they will either go on auction on eBay or they will go in the trash, depending on how badly they're messed up. All right. Oh yeah, this is what kind of wood? Oh, coffee nut. This is coffee nut wood. Made a little wooden sword, vampire hunter knife sword thingy. We're going to wrap the handle up on this. For this, I'll probably go with black. Black seems to work best for vampire hunter stuff. And then after this, we're gonna do a practice spear. We're gonna assemble the spearhead, which is also this one's Ipe, I believe. And we're going to attach this to the long shaft. So, oh, wrong. And of course, I grabbed the wrong end on this. Oh, good gracious. These two ends keep getting. All right. Well, give me 1 second, everybody. I got, for For some reason, there's two ends on this jute cord, and they keep getting tangled up. There we go. Thank you for the gift, Jocafe. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's kind of you. Just this around. There we go. Really, Shozy? That's what they're doing? Would it might be better because you're doing vampire hunting at night? I don't know. I mean, you drop it in the dark, your bone, but also it's more tactical. I think. I don't know. Like I would think if you're a vampire hunter, you don't want to be sticking out in the dark. That's always kind of, and it always seems like people who buy these they prefer black. So I tend to stick with black for vampire hunter stuff. Which honestly, any of my wooden daggers are technically a wooden stake. If I feel like anything's a wooden stake if it's sharp enough and it's made of wood. But I always think with vampire stakes, they always seem to be so simple in design that I like to make some every now and then that kind of look, different. It's still a wooden stake, but it looks like an actual sword or knife. I think that's a cool concept, and I don't think you ever really see that in vampire hunter stuff where they except for maybe Blade, but his sword's made of like silver or it's coated with silver anywhere, etched with it or whatever. And I think it's cool the concept of having like a wooden stake that feels and functions more like an actual knife or sword instead of just a sharpened stick with a handle on it. But you do make a point that if you drop it in the dark, it will be hard to find because it's dark. Oh crap! There we go. You like being that's all right, Shozy. You're my dingus. I'm cool with it. Be your dingus. I appreciate you being a dingus. And if you think about it, you're talking to a guy who runs a shop where I have to think about things like this. Like that's like my head is full of so much useless knowledge about how to fight supernatural creatures. I should write a book on it, and I have written a book on it. I've written several books on it. Speaking of which, The Unknown, my next book that I'm doing with DK Publishing, it's an illustrated encyclopedia for young readers. Um, we're in the review stage on that, so that should be coming out, I think, later this year, or I'm not entirely sure. Not sure when the publication date is. I should probably look that up. I think it's going to be called The Unknown. We did supernatural creatures, that encyclopedia about 2 years ago, and then last year we did legendary heroes, same format, and now we're doing The Unknown, which is like kind of like an unsolved mysteries kind of themed book. Hey, thanks for the likes, Jagabe. Appreciate it. Almost there. A few more rounds. I think we're good. There we go. Here we go. And there we are. There's our vampire hunter knife sword. New character idea from Shozy here. Vampire hunter that dresses like a 70s pimp and has a white suit. Like the Huggy Bear. He'd be like the Huggy Bear is a vampire hunter. That would be a movie I would watch, dude. Huggy Bear vampire hunter. That would be amazing. Or like if they had like a character like that, like a pimp character in like a straight on suit, giant hat, like crazy shoes. That would be hilarious. But he's also a vampire hunter. That would be funny. All right, so there we go. Let me put this bad boy up, but that's going to be nice. And also, just to let you guys know, these new Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie replica stakes are already up on the shop. I got a second set knocked out this weekend, so I'm going to add those to the inventory. These are based on the movie poster of the original 1990s movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Christy Swanson and Luke Perry, not the Joss Whedon one. All right, let's see. Next, I got to figure out what to do about this prop sword that I got here. I think we're going to have to start doing this one from the inside since the inside end has decided to come out. Put this over here. So this is my second attempt at making a stage safe prop sword. This is Okome wood. Okome, it's a good wood. It is decay resistant. It holds up, but also it is a softer wood. So if you were to hit someone with it, I mean, it wouldn't feel great, but it would cave in and or break if you were to hit someone with it. So it is stage safe. There's no sharp ends. It's just, would work well for stage combat. It would hold up to minor impacts. I don't have disdain for Joss necessarily. I don't think he's a nice person anymore, but I mean, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the series wasn't necessarily a bad series. I just prefer the original Christy Swanson movie because it's freaking awesome. So for this one, let's see. First, I'm going to give it a little wrap of grip tape here, and then we're going to figure out if I'm going to do an over wrap or not. So pro tip, if you're going to do a handle wrap with tape or any kind of a tape, you want to start at the bottom and work your way to the top of the handle. Reason for that is that if you do not do that, the overlap will be an issue. And we're going to have to start this a little differently because the angle cut's not going to work for that. I'm going to have to stretch it. Yeah, that's too high. There we go. We want to see some silver on the bottom. Make sure I'm overlapping that. There we go. There we are. Thanks for the donuts, Jacques. Yeah, my prop swords, unlike my wasters and bowken, these are not meant to be used for anything more than stage combat. they will not hold up to any kind of sparring practice or impact, unlike my wasters and bowken. And you know, obviously, I don't have an impact guarantee for these because they're props. They're not supposed to be used for that. There we go. It's got a handle. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to do some kind of fancier overwrap on this handle or not. Let me see what I've got in my wrap tapes down here. You've never seen Buffy? Oh, I know. It shows it always does suck. You know, it always seems like anytime somebody is, you know, gets a little bit of power, they just go off the rails and kind of become jerks. And I hate that. I hate it. I hate it for him. I hate that Neil Gaiman turned out the way that he turned out. I hate Joss Whedon turned out the way he turned out. I hate that a lot of these guys that I respected growing up turned out to be creepers. It sucks. Let's see. I think the rest of this is mostly baseball bat tape, which we're not going to need for this. I might be able to use, I've got some faux leather. Let's see. I don't think I've got enough of the real leather. And plus, I don't really want to use real leather on a prop like this. Let's see if this is going to be enough. Not sure it is. I'm just going to do a quick wrap around here to see if this is going to be enough to do this handle. No, not quite. Let's see. I think I got another one in here somewhere. Nope, I guess not. All right, folks. So this one's just getting a black tape wrap, and we're calling it good. I figure whoever gets this, if they want a cooler wrap on the handle, they can do that. Oh, Bill Cosby jaded everybody, Shozy. Oh my gosh, the whole thing with Bill Cosby, that's just, it's just horrible, dude. I hate to find out that somebody like that, because he was like America's dad, and then he turned out to be a freaking creeper, and it sucks. Yeah. Please don't be creepers. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I want to think about that. I mean, as far as I know, he didn't do anything with kids, but he did some other rapey stuff. I don't know. I'm not cool with it. Well, there we go. I'm going to put these up, and then we're going to do this spear real quick. And then I'll do some show and tell on some works in progress I got going on for custom orders. And then we'll be calling it a day. I don't even know what time it is. Man, we are moving right along this morning. So the next one I've got here, see if I can do this without messing anything up, this is a practice spear. This is an Ipe practice tip that I grooved the shaft to match the tip so that it goes in here, and I'm going to handle wrap 2 places on the spear shaft here, and I'm going to cord wrap the spearhead into place. What's up with the curtains? You mean this curtain or this curtain? The curtains here, this curtain right here, is this what we're talking about? This it's just a partition between my workshop and this room. In my workshop, I work, there's a lot of sawdust, and I have an air scrubber that is right at the bottom of this partition. So it helps keep the sawdust on that side away from this side where I do finishing work. It doesn't get all the sawdust. Sawdust still kind of finds its way over here, but not nearly as much. It just kind of helps keep my work station from being completely covered in sawdust. I already have to wipe it off at least a few times a week because I get sawdust over here, but that side of my workshop is completely covered in sawdust most of the time. I clean it about once every couple of weeks, but it's still pretty rough. All right. There we go. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a cord wrap on the bottom and the middle of this spear with some dark walnut paracord. Chagape, thank you. I'm knocking stuff over here. Not sure how I'm pulling that off. There we go. Down there. With paracord, it's always good to melt off your tips because the strands inside can separate from the sleeve while you're doing stuff like this, and you don't want to have that happen too much. So it's always good to give it a cut and a melt off just to make sure everything stays in place. Let's see, I'm going to need about 2 hand lengths worth at the bottom here. Yeah, I'd say that's 2 hand lengths. And now I got to use my short ass arms to get this. There we go. Around. Room divider, yeah. Pretty much room divider. That's what those curtains are. Too much shaft talk. I know, dude. Shows you, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what it is about my lives, but it feels like I always end up saying stuff that sounds like sexual innuendos when I don't mean to. I'm worried one of these days I'm going to get like restricted for adult content when I don't really, I'm over here talking about oiling wood and wrapping the shaft, and holy shit, you guys, I found the scissors. They were over here. Holy crap, the whole time that's where they were. All right, well, I'll stick them up here so I don't forget. That's what I get for not putting things back the way they're supposed to go. Okay, the other thing I got to try to do here is not put a hole in my ceiling while I'm wrapping the bottom of this thing. You haven't had a wood shop since your drinking days? It's funny because when I quit drinking, that was when I started doing this shop. Was after I quit drinking. I feel I'm much better at it. Probably when I'm sober. Oh, you guys, I am so going to end up. I'm going to have to turn sideways. Sorry. Otherwise, I'm going to end up putting a hole in the ceiling of this. Doing the bottom end of a shaft is always difficult. See, you did it again. All right. I know. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I have the mind of an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old baby. I hear wood and I'm like, haha, wood. He said wood. He's gonna oil his wood. Boy, I think I may have made this too long, but that's all right. As long as I can get about a hand and a half on this, it should be good to go. This probably also looks weird to you guys. I can't tell what angles I'm at, but I don't know. I promise I'm just handle wrapping a spear shaft. That's all. Nothing weird's going on here. Please don't report me. TikTok, you guys got any questions or comments over there? I'm seeing likes and joins, but I haven't heard anything from you guys this morning. All right, that should do it. There we go. Oh, I screwed that up. Not sure how. Okay, hang on. We're gonna have to All right. All right. Over left. There we go. Left over right. Simple square knot, Nathan. Wake the hell up. There we go. Now we're going to cut these off and melt them down so they look a little neater. The people on TikTok are probably like, what the hell are we watching? Why are we watching a middle-aged man melt paracord? There we go. And we got a nice little pretty area for spear throw. Oh, dude, kickbacks are the worst, Shozy. Yeah, sometimes we have to learn lessons the hard way, both with drinking and with table saws. But yeah, kickback, whether it's with a table saw or a whether it's with a table saw or a chainsaw, man, it will F you up. Saw kickback is no joke. That's why it's very important to make sure you watch those safety rules. That's weird. Is somebody else saying bad stuff? I don't see anything. Who's not being nice? Shozy, I can't even see anybody. I don't even see anybody but you on here. Who's not being nice? Is there somebody else in the chat that I can't see? Because for some reason yours is the only thing I see. Maybe I'm having a weird thing with the chat. I've got it set up for live chat. I don't see anybody else's comments but yours, though. Is somebody being mean? Are they going to try to hurt my feelings? Oh, no. I feel like sometimes I ruin people's mornings just by showing up to these lives. It's funny. Like, why would you go live with this? I'm like, I don't know, man. I didn't realize I was ruining anybody's day by going live. You don't have to stay. I won't make you. I promise. You can leave. You're allowed. No one's going to hold you hostage here. All right, now I need to find the center points. I would say that's the center point. We just need a one-hander at the center point. I'm gonna wrap you, little bastard. Be a little higher. Oh, beating myself up. Yes. Oh, you were talking to me. I I will be nicer to myself. I promise. I'm sorry. Was I being mean to myself? I guess I was. Sorry, Shosi. It's early, man. My brain is still. I will try to be nicer to your boy Nate. I promise. AKA me. I will try to be nicer to myself. I cut myself some slack. And he's just need enough for a one-hand grip here. I got pretty big hands, so I usually just measure with my own hand because most people's hands are not wider than mine. So, and if they are, holy crap, they've got big hands. Okay, 3 more. 1, 2, 3. I think that'll be enough. And maybe 2 more. Yeah, that's good. Well, that was a really long cutoff I did there. Right over left. There we go. And I'm not using adhesive on these because if somebody wants to remove this, I don't want them to have to scrape glue off of their shaft. God damn it. You don't want to have to scrape glue off your shaft, people. Never scrape glue off of your shaft. I'm going to hell. Okay. And you're all coming with me. Alrighty then. There we go. So now the shaft is good. I've got that way you've got a place to throw from here. You've got a place to throw from here. And you've got grips for when you're using it in a combat stance. Now we just got to figure out how to get this spearhead in here. I'm really hoping this will hold without adhesive because that was my intention with this design, was to create a spear where they could replace the shaft by just pulling the spearhead out. My plan here, get this lined up, and there we go. Woohoo! What's up, Jacoby? Thanks for the woohoos. I want to, gently peel the glue off the shaft there, Shozy, for sure. Oh, Jacoby, now you're my #1 fan on here. That's awesome. All right. I just need a little bit here. I'm going to do this in 2 ways. I'm going to do the jute cord first, just to make sure it is tight. Tight. You want it to be tight. And then I got to also test this to make sure that it wasn't break. And that was not enough jute. Okay. Thought it was going to be enough. I was wrong. I overstepped. All right. We're going to try something else here. Yeah, I know. Knife safety. Leave me alone. I didn't cut myself. I didn't die. All right. So the way this is set up, because the grooves are toward the center, when I wrap this, it should push everything towards the center, which should hold everything tight. We're going to find out. Later today, I got so much stuff I got to test. I test everything because most of my stuff is guaranteed, and I need to know if it's going to break. And you know what? I think this might be enough here. I don't want to put too much stuff around the spearhead. I don't want to make it insanely hard for someone to get off. Get the spearhead off, I mean. Oh, God. Okay. All right. That was weird. Why did it make me drag a puzzle piece into place? What was that about? That was odd. All right. And there we go. Let's see. Let go. All right, give me 1 second. Move some stuff around here. All right. Oh yeah, that's sturdy. It's got a slight wiggle, but that's what you want for a practice spear. You don't want it to be. Oh yeah, no, that's good. But yeah, it does come slightly loose if you go against something hard, but that's what you want, because if you actually stab someone with this, you want it to give slightly, because it is a practice spear. Well, it's straight. I don't see any warps. Woot woot. All right, so that's going to go up on the shop later today. Pitch is technically a glue. Yeah, it shows it is. I would say so. If it depends, I mean, it honestly is. If something's holding two things together, I feel like it's a glue. If it's a liquid that dries and holds stuff together, I think that's technically a glue, right? I would say so. Oh, gold one. There we go. Didn't know that was there. I don't know if pitch is a great glue. Pitch works good until it gets cold, and it's fine at regular temperatures, but I do know when pitch gets like below a certain temperature, it gets really brittle and has a tendency to crumble. All right, you guys. I think that was everything I had to get done this morning. What time is it? I don't even know. All right, we've been going about an hour. Not too bad. Oh, what do you guys think? You guys want to see Boogers are glue, right? Absolutely, they are glue, Josie. So, I guess I can show you guys a few things I'm working on right now. The custom orders I've got going on. This one here, I'm finishing up the paint on this. This is going to be a Kuromi themed barbed wire bat. It's got its first coat of plum paint. It's going to get a diamond pattern tape off, and then I'm going to paint over this with a darker plum or a darker lavender and a lavender purple. And then we're going to put black barbed wire on the top here. We're going to paint the barbs gold, and it's going to get, the handle's going to get a velvet handle wrap. I hope. I bought velvet to do the handle wrap with. We're going to see if that works or not. I've never done it before. We're going to find out. And then this custom order, unfortunately, is on hold right now because the bandsaw broke. But this is a rifle stock style rosewood in Native American club. It's a custom. It's slightly different from most rifle stock clubs in that it's got this counterweight at the bottom. I thought that was an odd design until I made it. It actually balances really well for a club this big. I mean, this is a beefy thing, but man, it really is easier to wield with that counterweight. It makes it feel much nicer. But the problem is, for the custom order, the customer wants teeth sawed in to these 3 spots before I put a knife blade is going to go, not this knife blade, but a knife blade will go in this spot between the teeth. But I can't cut the teeth in without my bandsaw. Trying to hand cut these teeth in, I may end up having to do that. I hope I don't. But that's going to take a long time. Rosewood is it's like stone, this wood. It is extremely dense, very hard to cut. It's very hard on sanders, very hard on saw blades. So a blade saw is, or a bandsaw is probably my best bet for that. But if I can't get my bandsaw working, then we could have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Also, eBay is no longer letting me sell war clubs. I still have war clubs. If you're ever interested in a war club, contact me. I will set you up with one. Hey, take it easy, Shosi. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Best of luck to you. Have a good day. So, but anyway, yeah, I am. I have war clubs available of all kinds. I've got Polynesia war clubs. I've got Tongan war clubs. I've got Native American war clubs, Atasis, or Atasi, I should say. I don't know that an S goes on to make it plural. But unfortunately, I cannot list those on eBay. Hopefully, here pretty soon, I'll be able to get either figure out Shopify's issue that it's having, which I don't think is going to happen, or I'll get another website set up. One of those two. Unless anybody's got any questions for me this morning, I'm probably going to go ahead and call it a day. I got to go home, do laundry, post all the new stuff to the store. What else do I have to do this morning? I have 3 sets of panels that I have to review for the new book and get those back to the production team at the publisher. And then hopefully we'll get to watch a bad movie and maybe play some Helldivers with my kid for a little while. If you are a Helldiver, welcome. Okay. Oh, thanks, Chanel. I don't know what half of these notifications mean. Anyway. I'm out of here, you guys. Everybody have a great Sunday. Thank you for hanging out with me for Sunday Finishing Work. I will be live every weekend for the most part on Saturdays. Actually, that's not true. So this week, we're not doing Saturday staining. I normally do a Saturday staining live at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time on Saturdays. I no longer do that. My live stream for Saturday for the staining will be Friday afternoon. We'll be doing staining Friday afternoon, but Sunday finishing work will remain the same. I will do that 7:30 a.m. on Sunday. That won't be changing, but we're gonna try Friday afternoon this week for staining. So we're gonna see how Friday staining works. It doesn't sound as good as Saturday staining, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how that goes. Anyway, I'm out of here, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I'll see you next weekend. Take care. And he did. There we go.